Coverage you can count on. Channel 3 Eyewitness News at noon.
Well, thank you for watching Eyewitness News at noon. I'm Latrice Curry. We're going to begin with weather and David Carnes in the Storm Alert Center, and it is cold out there right now, David.
It is very cold out there. Yeah, we're looking at still some isolated areas of ice and cold and breezy weather really combining to make it feel uncomfortable outside. That cold weather is going to linger into tonight. We're going to have single-digit wind chills overnight into tomorrow morning for a lot of people, so you want to bundle up and make sure that you are all okay. All the winter weather advisories allowed to expire, and again, now we're changing, turning the corner and focusing more on the cold, a little breezy also. So our 30 degrees in Chattanooga starting to warm up now, by the way. We were in the upper 20s just an hour ago. So we're climbing at least a little bit. 30 in Chattanooga, 28 in Cleveland. Winds out of the northwest, making it feel about 9-10 degrees colder than it actually is. Wind chills are in the teens and low 20s, mid 20s up toward the Blue Ridge. Now we'll have more coming up, including your forecast for the rest of the week. It looks like this Arctic air is going to settle in for a few days, then we'll warm up as we head into the weekend. I am excited to tell you about that, and you'll be excited about it coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, David. Looking forward to that. Well, Channel 3 has been covering weather all day. We have crews throughout the Tennessee Valley. Tim Pham is in Hamilton County on Signal Mountain. Casey Freeman is reporting from Etowah in McMinn County. And Michelle Herron is live in Dalton in Whitfield County. We begin our team coverage with Tim Pham. And Tim, what do things look like on Signal Mountain now?
Hey, good afternoon, Latrice. It is windy up here on Signal Mountain. The sun is shining. It is a beautiful day, and there's still some snow on the ground, but it's actually melting away. We're at the golf course right now. If you guys have been up here, you know this is a very popular spot for the kiddos on a snow day like this. That hill you see back there, you can see they've pretty much taken all the snow off of it because they were out here early sledding down that thing, and let me tell you, they go pretty fast. There were a bunch of kids out here this morning, a lot of families out here, and they're just really enjoying it. The roads have been clear, and the police chief tells us that, you know, the Public Works Department, they did such a good job at brining the roads beforehand that they didn't see any issues this morning, which is good news. But families I spoke to, they tell me that this is a better option for them instead of driving around town.
Well, we definitely stay off the roads, and we're fortunate enough to live right across from the golf course up on the mountain. So we always dress warmly and come out for a little bit and try to get some sledding in.
Well, okay, I think we're looking at video of me sledding now. I didn't fall like I did when I was ice skating, so that's the good news. But the sledding was a ton of fun. I got to tell you, I don't think I've ever been sledding before, so that was a first, and it was a lot of fun. And everyone's just enjoying the snow. It's not causing any problems on Signal Mountain. We want to turn things now to Casey Freeman. She's in McMinn County. Casey, what's it look like where you are?
Well, Tim, it's still some snow accumulation here on your grass and on your cars, on top of sheds and things like that. So it's still enough snow to be pretty, as you can see out here today. But as far as roads go, they're pretty much clear in this area. We traveled from Cleveland earlier this morning up here to Etowah, and it's still clear. We even traveled along some secondary roads. Those did have some slush on them, but nothing that you couldn't maneuver around. So we did do a little bit of that traveling. Now, we did see a car accident earlier today in the beginning of McMinn County, a two-car crash, but both of those drivers are okay. And at this time, we're not clear if weather played a factor or if it was just a crash based off of a circumstance that happened to be there. Now, I did talk with a resident earlier today who Chris Mull, he said he had to go to work this morning. He tried to go from Etowah to Maryville this morning, but he said that it was pretty difficult.
I got up to about Englewood, and the snow started getting real heavy, and it started getting really slick out. So I started second guessing my travel this morning.
So that's when he decided to turn around and come back this way and called it a snow day. He didn't want to get stuck, and he just wanted to play it safe. Now, we did also see a couple of other community members around the area who they said that they just got done sledding. So we're going to see if we can find those areas within the next half hour. But for now, let's head down to Dalton to Michelle Herring. Michelle, what are you seeing down there when it comes to snow?
You know, Casey, we had to climb 1,700 feet in elevation here in Whitfield County just to see some snow that was sticking, and it was about the same as to what you and Tim Pham have been seeing in your neck of the woods. It's sticking to grassy areas and a lot of trees, but nothing sticking to the roadway, and that is good news. I talked to someone with the Dalton Police Department earlier. They tell me they haven't worked any crashes today, so that is definitely good news. A lot of folks just kind of getting on with their normal routine. I met up with Bobby Burke a little bit earlier this morning. He was riding on a bike, and what he did is he showed up to a staffing agency looking for work, and I asked him, you know, being out on a bike in these elements, how do you stay warm?
I had to put on a hoodie under my jacket this morning and got a thicker jacket on and got some gloves on, staying warm in my boggin.
All of us that are working out in this are wearing several layers, so that is how you just stay warm. Now, the temperature is definitely something that you notice. There is a little bit of wind up here on Doug Gap Mountain. It's not too much, but since we've been out here, it's dropped in temperature by 10 degrees within 3 hours. So now it's about 28 degrees. That is well below freezing, and so being that the roadways are a little bit wet from that rain and that wintry mix from earlier this morning, that is where black ice can come into play. And I know a lot of first responders are saying that if you do have to get out and drive today, tonight, tomorrow, and you see something that looks like a puddle, treat it like black ice, because there is a very good chance that it is. We'll keep you guys updated, but for now, reporting live in Whitfield County, I'm Michelle Herron, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Michelle, Casey, and Tim Pham there. Well, the weather caused several flight delays and cancellations today across the country. At last check, there were more than 6,000 flights delayed and more than 1,500 flights canceled. If you're flying out of Chattanooga this afternoon, make sure you check your flight status. We have a link to the Chattanooga Airport on our website under the traffic tab. Well, residents in one Athens neighborhood are without water this afternoon due to a water main break. The water will be cut off from George Street to Congress Parkway on Bryson Street. Athens utility crews are waiting for underground lines to be marked, which will take up to 2 hours. Crews advise that water leaks are not uncommon with the changes in temperatures. They say customers should be aware of the water shutoff valve location in their homes. A serious Arctic blast has the Midwest bracing for a life-threatening cold, with the polar vortex system bringing the threat of wind chills as low as 70 degrees below zero. The system dips down into the south as far as Atlanta, where they're hoping for some better weather by this weekend when the Super Bowl is played there on Sunday. Dylan Dreyer has more from Minnesota.
Parts of the Midwest bracing for yet another blast of Arctic weather. A once-in-a-generation cold outbreak expected to drop temperatures across the region to their lowest levels in more than 2 decades. The life-threatening conditions likely to last for several days.
It's just dangerous to be outside. It only takes less than 5 minutes to get frostbite when it's about 40, 50 degrees below zero, which is what we're expecting tomorrow morning.
The National Weather Service in Iowa actually warning people to avoid taking deep breaths and minimize talking. The dangerous outbreak coming after a winter storm dumped more than 6 inches of snow on the region. Treacherous travel in North Dakota and Minnesota, where 130 accidents happened by midday. The Southeast now in the path of that same system. In Atlanta, as football fans begin pouring into town for Super Bowl 53, crews working around the clock to pre-treat roads for snow and ice. Trying to avoid a repeat of the so-called snow jam of 2014, when only 2 inches of snowfall completely paralyzed Atlanta freeways, stranding motorists for hours. A dose of southern discomfort for football fans as winter extends its icy grip across the nation.
In Minneapolis, Minnesota, Dylan Dreyer, NBC News.
Well, the World Health Organization estimates that some 1.3 billion people have some degree of vision impairment. Coming up in What the Tech, Jamie Tucker shows us an app that lets you help blind people see. Well, the World Health Organization estimates that some 1.3 billion people have some degree of vision impairment. That includes some 36 million people who are blind. And now there's help for them right at your fingertips. As our consumer technology reporter Jamie Tucker shows us, it's as simple as opening an app.
In the app stores, you will find thousands and thousands of games. You can spend hours playing them. But just a few minutes out of your schedule, once in a while, you could be helping someone see. The app is called Be My Eyes. Here's how it works. When a blind person needs help with a daily activity, such as making sure the shirt they plan to wear matches their pants, or maybe seeing if the milk in the fridge has expired, the blind person opens the Be My Eyes app. A sighted person who's also downloaded the app gets a notification on their phone. Now, the blind person then points their camera at what they want to see, and the volunteer serves as their eyes over a live video connection.
How much sodium? I don't know if you could see the text on it. 7 grams. Excellent. Thank you so much. That's all I needed to know.
If a request for help goes out and a volunteer doesn't immediately answer, that call is forwarded on to someone else so the visually impaired person does not have to wait. Over 113,000 blind and low vision people use the app right now. Nearly 2 million volunteers are waiting to help. So many more volunteers than visually impaired users, it may take a while before you're even asked to help. This is a great example, though, of what mobile technology can do. I'm Jamie Tucker, and Be My Eyes is the app of the day.
Welcome back. Signal Mountain sliding down the hill. Yeah, this is some drone video of Signal Mountain after the snow moved through this morning, and just absolutely beautiful. And some of the kids taking full advantage. Whatever little snow there was, they were going to sled, and they absolutely did. Beautiful video of the kids just out there having a good time. And I hope you've had a good day today as well. Our high-res radar showing any vestige of any precipitation moving off to the east, and what we see now is clearing skies and really cold, blustery Arctic air settling into the Tennessee Valley. So that's going to be our focal point. There still may be a few areas of ice, some of the outlying areas, so be aware of that traveling around. Otherwise, clearing skies, cold and breezy this afternoon, and then we're going to see the cold air really settle in tonight and tomorrow, and we're looking at possibly even some wind chills down into the single digits tonight as the temperature plunges, so we'll keep an eye out for that. The only winter weather advisory we still have is heading up toward Murphy, North Carolina until 7 o'clock. All other winter weather advisories have been allowed to expire. Well, right now it's actually warmed up a degree or two in Chattanooga. It's up to 30 degrees. It's 29 in Cleveland, 35 in Murphy, 31 in Dalton, and 26 in Monteagle. Winds are out of the northwest at 10 miles per hour, and that's making it feel a good 5 to 10 degrees colder than it actually is. These are the current wind chills, so bundle up in layers, cover as much exposed skin as you possibly can if you're going to be outdoors for more than 5-10 minutes. Vipercast keeping our skies clear as we move through the day today. The cold air, here it comes, that big burst of cold air moving in on Wednesday, and then we'll see it staying with us on Thursday as high pressure builds in. Moving into Friday, may have a few clouds and will warm up on Friday afternoon. 20% chance of an isolated shower in the afternoon also as we climb into the low 50s on Friday afternoon. So our skies clearing out, cold and breezy this afternoon. We'll keep going up a few more degrees. We'll call it 37 degrees for the high. Winds continuing out of the north-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. 36 for the high in Cleveland, 29. That's as warm as we'll get in Altamont, 34 in Dayton, and 34 in Athens. And then tonight, bitterly cold air settles in. Dangerous wind chills will drop down to 21 degrees in Chattanooga. And with winds out of the northwest, even 5 to 10 miles per hour, a lot of these teens, it will feel like it's 8-9 degrees tomorrow morning as the kids are going out to the bus stop. So make sure they are bundled up and ready to stand outside for, again, more than 5 to 10 minutes. It will become very, very uncomfortable for you. 21 degrees tomorrow morning in Chattanooga, only warming up to 37, and that cold air keeps spilling in on Thursday, dropping down to 18 degrees, and then we'll see it relaxing a little bit, getting up to 45 on Thursday. Nice on Friday. 51 degrees for the high. Again, maybe a sprinkle Friday afternoon, and then Saturday just absolutely gorgeous. We will love Saturday. 55 degrees for the high, and then as you're settling in for the, what do we say, super game?
The big game.
The Great Bowl, or whatever it is. On Sunday, 61 degrees.
Oh,
and
wow.
maybe a sprinkle Sunday, but the big deal is going to be rain on Monday. That's our next chance for some solid rain with a high of 63.
All right. Thank you so much as we warm up some. All right. We continue our team coverage now of weather because it's cold out there throughout the Tennessee Valley. Tanisha Cordell is in Hamilton County checking out road conditions, and she joins us now live from the phone. And Tanisha, where are you and what are you seeing out there now?
Well, Latrice, we're up on Lookout Mountain. We thought we'd take a, trip up to the higher elevations to get a look and see if we've spotted some dusting, and that's definitely what we're seeing right now. And everyone's yards are got a pretty fair amount of dusting here. Like I said, we even spotted some kids coming up the hill here a little while ago. We just passed them. They were coming up from sledding on this field over to our right. As you can kind of see, we're coming up on a little bit here. But again, some light dusting up here on the mountain. You can kind of make out on the road where the wetness from that rain and snow earlier we saw this morning is starting to dry on that road there. And that's what Public Works says. They're hoping that it'll continue to do that as temperatures possibly drop tonight. They're saying that'll cut down on that black ice that we could possibly see later tonight. So they're saying we're not totally out of the clear yet, but they're hoping that it keeps up. Now they've been putting down salt and brine all day yesterday and continued that this morning. They had about 20 trucks out on the roads, just pretty much focusing on those primary roads, like downtown and things like that, the heavily traveled areas, and secondary roads again, like up here on the mountain, on Lookout Mountain, as we saw. But they have scaled back a bit, just as the snow and everything has pretty much fallen back and whatnot. And like I said, their sun is pretty much taken over at this point, and that's what they're banking on. Now they're still going to be keeping an eye out on the roads, spotting black ice. They're also going to have a person taking emergency ice calls or any incidents that anyone spots. But beautiful up here on the mountain. Like I said, a little dusting here, but roads look pretty good so far. Back to you, Latrice.
All right. Thanks, Tanisha. Nice day to take a drive up on Lookout. Well, Channel 3's Jake Chapman is in Grundy County, where they got a little snow this morning. And Jake's, anything left on the ground there now?
Well, Latrice, there's actually some snow left on the ground right now. Now, the snow hit Grundy County early this morning. Now, the flurries actually may be gone from the sky, but as you can see right now, the ground is still covered. But that's not the biggest concern for Grundy County residents. They say the dropping temperatures into the teens is what concerns them the most. Now, dispatch says there are no reports of any accidents on the road as of now. Other than the temperature drops, people in Grundy County are not having any issues on the main roads. That's because TDOT says the main highways were too warm for the snow to stick. Now, some say the back roads like Hobbs Hills and Summerfield are an issue. Now, we drove down Hobbs Hill early this morning to check on the road conditions. Now, we did run into a patch or two of black ice, so I warn people to be very careful going down those streets. Any back roads in the area, be careful, because black ice, we did not see it coming whatsoever. And we actually skid a little bit, but we are okay. And we're going to continue to monitor the driving conditions out here as well. Now, as we said just a moment ago, the dropping temperatures are the biggest concern right now. We were out here early, it was 19 degrees. We spoke to a man who said when he woke up, it was 16 degrees when he woke up and was walking around. We'll have more on him and how the people are handling this cold weather. For now, I'm live in Grundy County. Jake Chapman, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All righty, the dropping temperatures and that wind, as you can hear there too. All right, still to come on Eyewitness News at noon. We're going to have a look at what's trending, plus some viewer pictures from this morning. Stay with us. David and I will hit the couch. All right, welcome back. When the Kansas City Zoo had 3 new baby otters born, the names officials came up with were out of this world, David.
Yeah, literally, at least when it comes to the movie world. The Asian small-clawed otter triplets are named Han, Luke, and Leia. Leia, sorry.
Leia, I know.
Sorry, do not send me an email. I know it's Leia, as in the central characters in Star Wars. That got the public's attention, and it got the attention of the actor who plays Luke Skywalker in the famed franchise. Yes, Mark Hamill tweeted, "Thanks for finally reuniting Han, Luke, and Leia." He added the hashtag, "You oughter be proud of yourselves." Yes, nice.
Look at those little otters there.
Very cute.
They are cute.
I like that. Hey, now check this out.
Okay. Looking for a job?
Getting an application. Check a major employment opportunity at Walmart.
Okay, so here's what they're doing now. Walmart is planning to hire hundreds of truck drivers to join its fleet this year. And starting in February, the retail giant is raising driver salaries to $87,500 a year on average. Yeah, you know, you really don't think about, like, a lot of times we were talking about some of the jobs in industries where people are really still needed.
Yep.
And so it's a job shortage for truck drivers, and the job market is tight right now. Last year, Walmart hired more than 1,400 new drivers, but a large number of additional drivers are needed to keep up with consumer demand. According to the American Trucking Association, there are 48,000 vacant trucking jobs in the U.S. The median annual wage for a truck driver across the U.S. $44,500. And I mean, just think about it, because every day, like when I'm on my way to work, I mean, it's like full coming down the ridge cutting there with all those truckers, you know, and you see them on the interstate. And so it really is. I mean, how do we get our goods?
$87,000 a year. That is incredible.
So, you know, I mean, they're on the road a lot. And
Bet you because of this story, people are going to be going to Walmart
That's
today.
what I was going to say, and applying for those who are in need of employment. All right, here are some pictures and some videos, and we always like this when our viewers send things in to us as well. Oh, look at this one, David Carnes. That's pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. And that looks like kind of what a lot of folks saw, just kind of that wet snow. Tyler Hall from Calhoun, Anna Roberts from Ocoee sent a picture in. And we also have a video from Haley Bursey in Appleton, I believe. Ooh.
Oh, how pretty.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Yeah, lots of folks saw snow today and enjoyed it. And had a good attitude about it. They had a good attitude about it, too.
David Carnes.
I'm just saying, they enjoyed the snow,
David
right?
Carnes, are you feeling some kind of way right now?
I feel
okay.
Good. I feel good.
Good, okay. All righty. Well, thank you so much. Y'all only knew I love David Carnes. So anyway, thank you for sending in your pictures and your video. As always, we always love getting those in from our viewers.
Yes.
All right, so stay with us. Of course, we're going to continue our team coverage. And look at this. How cute is this? Now,
You got
see?
enough snow to build a snowman.
See?
Look at that.
See? Somebody is really
That is
happy
awesome.
today.
That's
Isn't
a happy kid.
That is a very happy kid and some happy parents
Where is
right
that?
there.
Is that the one
I don't
in
know.
Appleton?
Sherry, can you tell me? Etowah. That's Etowah.
That's live in Etowah.
That's live
That
in
is
Etowah.
phenomenal. Love
yes, that is so cute. All right, so we could stay on this for a while, but Sherry says that we have to go now so that we can get out. All right, so anyway, that kid right there is having a lot of fun. The snowman. Okay, we're back after this.
Coverage you can count on. Channel 3 Eyewitness News at noon.
Thank you so much for joining us for Eyewitness News at noon. I'm Latrice Curry. Let's go to David Carnes in the Storm Alert Center for the latest on our forecast. It is cold out there, but it was so cute, David. We just ended the newscast at 12 o'clock by showing a little girl building a snowman in Etowah, though.
Yes, we did. And I don't know if a lot of people had enough to build a snowman, but that little girl did. So good for her. Here we have blue skies overhead, looking good in terms of not getting any snow, rain. It's all drying out, but I would not be surprised if folks were bundling up big time. Cold weather really starting to move in. You've heard the term polar vortex. Yeah, we are going to see that wave slide southward and bring even colder air to the Tennessee Valley late today into tonight. So more on that in just a minute. Cold enough right now, though. We're at 30 in Chattanooga. It's actually warmed up 2 degrees in the past hour. It was 28. Now we're at 29 in Cleveland, 28 Athens, and 31 in Dalton. Low 30s heading up into the Blue Ridge. But look at the winds blowing out of the northwest. They'll be blowing at about 10 to 15 miles per hour through the afternoon, and that's going to make it feel about 5 to 10 degrees colder than it actually is. So it's 30 in Chattanooga, but it feels like 21, feels like the teens from Montego up into Dayton. Bundle up in layers and stay warm if you're going to be outdoors for any length of time today. Vipercast again showing clearing skies through the rest of the day. We'll have more coming up in just a moment. Let you know about the big blast of cold Arctic air on the way in just a moment.
All righty, thank you so much, David. Well, we continue our team coverage of today's weather, where some people saw a bit of snow. We have crews throughout the Tennessee Valley. Tim Pham is in Hamilton County on Signal Mountain, where they were doing some sledding earlier. Casey Freeman reporting from Etowah in McMinn County, where someone just built a snowman. And Michelle Heron is live in Dalton in Whitfield County, where we could see a dusting there as well. We begin our team coverage with Tim Pham, and things are on Signal Mountain. Anything left there for them to do some more sledding today, Tim?
Latrice, all my friends left. All the snow is starting to melt away and all the kiddos went home, but I gotta tell you, it was packed here. A lot of families here, dozens of kids were out here at the golf course on Signal Mountain on all of these different hills here. It's a very popular place. I think we have some video of what it looked like a little bit earlier today. A lot of kiddos out here just having fun, enjoying the snow on this snow day, right? I mean, they were hoping for a little bit more, but it was just enough to get them down these hills and have a good time. A little cold though, as David said, you want to bundle up because it is very windy up here on Signal Mountain. And yeah, if you're not wearing like earmuffs or ear protection, you're definitely going to want that as you head outside. When I spoke with the police chief about an hour ago, he told me that they are still watching some of those shaded areas and bridges because those areas are still obviously very cold and could be very slick. And he says there's a lot of different water, creeks, runoff that could freeze over still. So they're definitely keeping an eye on those situations very closely. But back to the sledding, you know, a lot of people still out enjoying it today. Families tell us it's a long tradition for them, even when a little bit of snow falls here on Signal Mountain.
It has been a long tradition. Ever since I grew up on Signal, everybody would run over to this hill, this same hill on the mountain. It's got a great distance to go really far on your sled. Say for about the last 40 years, we've always come over to this hill to go sledding.
Such a fun tradition. I even got to hop in one of their sleds and it was fun. I will say that. It wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be, but yeah, it was a good morning, a lot of fun out here. Now the sun is shining, maybe a good time to go out for a quick walk before it gets any colder. But let's turn things over to Casey Freeman now, who's in McMinn County. Casey, what are you seeing where you are?
Well, Tim, I have a little friend with me. Her name is Trinity. She's 5 years old. We were going to see if we could find someone sledding when we saw her snow woman, and she doesn't have a name for it yet. Trinity, can you just talk to me real quick about what you used to make your snow woman today? What'd you use?
Well, we used chalk and a hat and some sticks and a scarf and a sticker. Well, I think I don't know what these are called.
Pecans?
Pecans. And we made it snow out of it.
And is this your hat?
Yeah.
And can you come over here real quick for me?
Yeah.
And who did you make this snow person with?
Mom.
And how was that? How long did it take you guys?
It took us fast because we were working together.
And what else did you guys do with the snow today?
Well, we were having fun at Wedge Place, and we said we were going to have a snow fight.
So you just showed me how to make a snowball, and you made a snow angel earlier. Tim, it may have been better than yours. I don't know, but you want to show me how you guys made snow angels and snowball fights and stuff like that?
Yeah, but I'm going to find I don't know where's a perfect spot to make a snow.
Yeah, you used a lot of the snow. You want to see? You were showing me earlier how you had the snow.
Yeah. And you could have fun with it.
Yeah. How much fun did you have today?
A lot. When I woke up, I was checking if we had snow, and it was fun.
Yeah. When you first woke up, was there snow or no?
There was.
Oh, awesome. So you came right outside and joined the snow.
Yeah. Well, you have to be careful because it's slippery.
Yeah, that's right. Trinity said you have to be careful because it's slippery, just like many of the roads, those secondary roads. So we're going to head down to Whitfield County where we find Channel 3's Michelle here. Michelle, how are things in your area?
They're doing pretty well. That was probably the cutest interview ever. Good job, Casey and Trinity. You guys are awesome. You get the awesome award for the day. Unfortunately, I didn't run into any kids here on Dug Gap Mountain where they got some snow here earlier this morning. The sun has been out consistently for probably the last 30 to 45 minutes. So now that snow is starting to melt. And if you do see anything falling down, it's the snow that's coming off of the tree branches as the wind starts to blow. So that wind is definitely playing an impact on the wind chill and those colder temperatures. Temperatures here on Doug Gap Mountain are about 28 degrees, so well below freezing. The pavement is starting to dry a little bit, but definitely first responders say that if you come to something on the road that looks like it might be a little puddle of water, treat it like black ice. Now, a lot of folks here are kind of going about their normal day routine. I caught up with Betty, who works at Johnny's Barbecue, and she says that she came to work today.
I kept waiting for it to freeze, but when I come in, didn't have no problem. Roads is clear, so
Now you're here at work.
I'm here at work.
But she says, you want to know what? She's not complaining because there are some other places that are closed because of weather. And she says with them being closed, that means they're getting ready for an influx of people that are hungry for lunch and dinner today. So she's definitely excited to be at work. Now, we're going to keep you guys updated throughout the day on air and online. That refreezing and those very cold temperatures still pose a danger to the roadway. So if you do have to get out, be safe. I did talk to Dalton Police, and they tell me that they have not worked any crashes today, but they are ready for anything, especially as those temperatures continue to drop into this evening. We're going to be here keeping you updated. Reporting live in Whitfield County, I'm Michelle Herron, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Alrighty, thank you so much there, Michelle, Casey, and Tim Pham. Nice scenes where you all, and a big shout out to Trinity. She got our favorite live shot of the day today. All right, other news, of course, our team coverage continues inside our WRCB app. Happening later today, the city council members are meeting with Chattanooga Police Chief David Ronnie to discuss department policy and their concerns over the arrest of Frederico Wolf. Earlier this month, video began circulating on social media that shows an officer punching Wolf during a traffic stop that happened on March 10th of last year. The officer seen in the video, Officer Benjamin Piazza, has been suspended and all charges against Wolf have been dropped, according to his attorney. The public safety educational session will take place at 1:30 this afternoon. All right, there's still more to come here on this edition of Eyewitness News at noon, and we're going to go back and see Trinity some more and Casey as she is having a ball playing in the snow there. Stay with us. All right, well, winter weather brings snow to central Mississippi. Take a look. The flakes falling early this morning in Jackson, coating cars and the streets. But any accumulation is melting as the temperatures rise there today. Wet roads could freeze, though, overnight, posing a problem tomorrow morning. Kind of what we saw here in some areas. David Carnes.
Yeah, all gone now. We're looking at, from a little earlier today where folks are on Signal Mountain sledding away. Beautiful, beautiful drone shot there. That from our drone pilot, Tracy, yeah, absolutely. But now, and Tim Pham just showed a live shot from there earlier, and they sledded the heck out of that snow. That snow is gone off that hill. Yeah, but they had fun doing it. Tim Pham even went down the hill. Looking at some blue skies right now on our Holiday Inn downtown camera. Really just cold, and that's going to be the focus of the next 2 to 3 days. Isolated areas of ice, still a possibility out there. Clearing skies, cold and breezy this afternoon. Gets even colder tonight. We're going to have some wind chills dipping down into the single digits. Nothing on our radar. All the snow, the rain, everything is off to the east now. And what we're looking forward to over the next few days, you've heard the term polar vortex. Basically, the vortex part of this is low pressure that swirls around over the Arctic and kind of keeps all of the cold air bottled up there. But every now and then, you'll get an instability in that circulation, and it'll allow for some really cold weather to sink down into the southeast. And that's what we're seeing over the next couple of days, is this big spilling of cold air filing in. Right now, it's 30 in Chattanooga, 30 in Cleveland, 26 in Monteagle. Winds out of the northwest at 10 miles per hour, though, making it feel about 5 to 10 degrees colder. It feels like it's in the teens and low 20s from the plateau into the valley and heading up into Blue Ridge and Murphy. Temperatures feel like it's in the mid to upper 20s. So Vipercast showing the skies continuing to clear. As they do, there comes that next burst of cold air tonight and tomorrow. It'll drop down into the teens and low 20s tomorrow morning, and it will be about 4 or 5 degrees even colder than that on Thursday morning. And then we'll finally start to warm back up a little bit on Friday. I'm not going to rule out 1 or 2 isolated showers Friday afternoon. We'll have a high in the low 50s. But for today, we may rebound enough to get into the mid 30s, 37 for the high in Chattanooga. Some folks won't get out of the 20s up in Altamont, 29 for the high. But most folks will be in the low to mid 30s this afternoon, maybe the mid to upper 30s for highs in Blue Ridge and Murphy. Bitterly cold tonight, though, 21 degrees for the overnight low. Dangerous wind chills. Now, the winds this afternoon will be blowing at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, they'll blow at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. But when you're talking about temperatures in the teens and low 20s, a lot of these folks, especially like Cleveland, Altamont, will have wind chills of, say, 8, 9 degrees tomorrow morning. So bundling the kids up for the bus stop, yeah, make sure they stay warm and indoors as long as possible. Our Storm Alert 7-day forecast showing that cold fetch of air staying with us right through Thursday morning, 18 degrees the low, and then we'll warm up to a nice 45, relatively speaking, on Thursday, and then, wow, spoiled, 51 on Friday. Saturday, the best day of the forecast, it'll climb up to 55, but actually Sunday is going to be nice also. A 20% chance of a passing shower late in the day, but 61 degrees for the high. That makes up for anything that we get, and then 63 with a better chance for some showers to start off next week, Latrice.
All righty. Thank you so much, David. Well, we're going to continue our team coverage of weather throughout the Tennessee Valley. At this time, Tanisha Cordell is in Hamilton County. She's driving through and checking out road conditions, seeing if there are any problems. She joins us now live on the phone. Tanisha, tell us where you are and what you're seeing.
Yeah, well, Latrice, we're on Lookout Mountain. We made it to the top here. We're by Lookout Mountain Golf Club. We spotted a whole group of kids here kind of making do with the dusting of snow, sledding, and just enjoying the fun. We got to talk with them a few when we got out of the car. And I have to say, the wind up here on the mountain is not anything to play with. I mean, they were freezing cold, but they say the wind is making their sledding 10 times better. So they're definitely enjoying the day out of school and again sledding on this hill here on the golf club. Now, this dusting that you're kind of seeing as we kind of make our way back around, so you can kind of see the hill here. This is what we're seeing all up on the mountain, this dusting of snow. Not a lot of ice. We've seen on the roads kind of driving up here, the wetness and the puddles and whatnot drying from that sun and the wind. That's been a big factor and a big ally for public works crews as they hoping that stays true and it continues to dry out through the night as temperatures drop, cutting back on the chances of any black ice throughout the night. But other than that, public works crews say they're scaling back because of those factors again. Earlier this morning, though, they had tons of trucks out salting and brining the roads, mainly those primary roads and up here on the secondary roads as well, up on the mountains and high elevation areas. So we're going to keep a lookout for all these roads for you guys, hoping we can spot some more kids out here enjoying their day out of school. Latrice?
Mike there too, and pretty day up there on the mountain. Thanks so much, Tanisha. All right, Channel 3's Jake Chapman is in Grundy County, where they also saw a bit of snow this morning. And Jake, one of the things you were talking about last time was there's still some dusting there on the ground, but the big thing also is the cold weather and the temperatures there. All right, we could not hear Jake there. Obviously, we lost the audio. But you could see as Jake was talking, though, how cold it was. And he was talking about also the wind blowing there as well. They saw some snow flurries. But the temperatures he was talking about continues to drop into the teens. And he said dispatch there says there are no reports of any accidents on the roads other than the temperature dropping. But people in Grundy County are not having any issues. They are being able to get around on the roads okay. TDOT says the main highways were too warm for the snow to stick. And some say the back roads like Hobbs Hill and Summerfield are an issue, and they drove down those roads early this morning to check on conditions, but they didn't run into anything major. So no major problems there. Again, the big story there, the dropping temperatures in the cold weather. Well, freezing temperatures could have a major impact on your vehicle. In today's Your 3 Cents, David Carnes focuses on some of the things you'll need to make it through the day.
Well, with the winter weather on the way and the really cold weather about to settle in, we wanted to make sure with Your 3 Cents that you were prepared, your car was ready to go just in case it had trouble on the side of the road, ran into a patch of ice, something like that. So I went on Facebook and I asked, give me your 3 cents. What do you keep in your car just in case you have an emergency during wintertime? Love some of your responses. Check this out. Crystal said, hot hands and hand warmers. Roselia said, a Ziploc bag, love this, with dry socks. And Miranda, along with other items, toilet paper. It's got lots of uses, toilet paper. Rhonda said, I just stay home. I don't blame you, Rhonda. And here is possibly my favorite. Sean said, a Tauntaun lightsaber and a deck of cards. That way you can play cards with the Tauntaun and you'll have company. If it gets too cold and the Tauntaun dies, you can use the lightsaber to cut it open and use it as shelter, just like Han and Luke in The Empire Strikes Back. So, all kinds of options for you. Well, what I wanted to do is put together a list of some of the other items besides a Tauntaun and a lightsaber that you may want to have in your car, and check some of these out. This is a jacket, warm jacket, a blanket just in case. You also have an ice scraper. Keep one of those in your car. Jumper cables, but also they sell, and you can get these for $50 or less, automatic battery charger, and I would recommend that if you can spend a little bit more, maybe you get that. Also, you definitely want to have water snacks. These are just run-of-the-mill peanuts. By the way, these came out of cameraman Chandler's car, dated 2008. 2000, it's time for new peanuts, Chandler. And we also have a first aid kit. This is a very thorough first aid kit, but here is another one that comes in literally a sardine can. Some type of first aid kit, you want to make sure you have that. And then if you do happen to get stuck on the side of the road, I would recommend that you have a flashlight, one that also can act as an emergency beacon. These are road flares. And then behind, we also have just a general toolkit with some very basic tools, clamps, pliers, hammer, screwdriver, things of that nature. And might I also recommend you make sure you have things like your battery checked. Make sure it's a good battery. The cold weather will wreak havoc on your battery. Windshield wipers, belts, tires, make sure the pressure and the tread are both appropriate for cold weather, and just make sure your car doesn't fail you when you need it most. So that's my 3 cents. If you have anything that you want to rant or rave about, I want to hear your 3 cents. Just call 643-9722 and give me your 3 cents.
A traffic note for you this afternoon. The W Road and Roberts Mill Road have both reopened. Well, nobody likes being stuck in traffic or driving on a bumpy road. Speaking of traffic, so which state has the best driving experience? WalletHub ranked all 50 states based on indicators like road quality, rush hour traffic, congestion, and gas prices. Oregon is the best state for driving. North Carolina was 6th, followed by Georgia at number 7. I guess that did not factor in Atlanta. Tennessee failed to make the top 10, coming in at 12th, and Alabama was 14th. The very worst state, Hawaii. After a sold-out 2018 event, the Memphis-based Moon River Music Festival has announced its return. The concert series will be making its way back to Coolidge Park on September 7th and 8th this year. Right now, it's unclear when tickets are set to go on sale or who'll be performing, but we'll let you know as soon as that information is released. All right, when we come back, we're going to have one last look at your forecast. Stay with us. All right, for folks heading out this afternoon?
Yeah, cold. Bundle up. We are warming up a couple of degrees, but not much. Upper 20s, right around 30 right now, but a little breezy also, and that is putting a definite bite in the air. It feels like 16 on Monteagle, 21 in Chattanooga, and the wind chill is 21 in Cleveland. Our highs today staying in the 30s, cold tomorrow as well, warming up late in the week.
All right, thank you, David. All right, since we're talking about cold weather, hundreds of runners put their best frozen foot forward this past weekend to take part in the first ever ice race in China. Want to participate in that, David?
What?
The 2019 China Jingpo Lake International Ice Race was held in northeast China. 1,100 participants took part in this 5K or half marathon.
Cracks in the ice.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, that's so dangerous. I was like, for a 5K, like for me, it'd be difficult enough, but then to do it on ice as well. All right then. All right, that's it for Eyewitness News at noon.